What episode are you up to, babe?
Okay.
What episode are you up to on that show you watching?
I'm gonna
I was asking what episode you're up to on your show.
flip this here. No, that's not gonna work. Stand by. Okay. It is too late to eat. But But if you watched yesterday's episode, oh, Raymond, thank you. What can I say? You got me on that one. I do believe that nutrition is a big part of my stamina, my endurance, and my determination. Think of it as the ability to hold an electric charge, which is my intention. What's up, Chris? I really shouldn't be eating. It's late, and I'm doing my best to fast, but I have to start on a Monday. So also, like I was about to say, this quinoa was left over from yesterday's recipe that I made into a medical marijuana. So what I'm gonna do is, in this pot, I don't have a pan, but in this pot I'm gonna use that same palm oil from yesterday. I'm gonna put it on the bottom. I'm gonna put this red cabbage, and this is an ingredient that I'm very very strict now about going organic, because the last time I had a cabbage that wasn't organic, my whole freaking throat swelled up. And it must be heavily sprayed. Anyway, I went to a specialty store today to get this. Hold on. Because I'm going to see my kids tomorrow. So I'm providing all their food for the 24 hours. It cost me $50 to get all their food for the day. This is a cereal that I'm okay with. It's called puffed millet. And the ingredients right there, it's hard to see. Puffed whole millet. That's it. It's crunchy. It's yummy. I got 2 bags. 1 for each. I got a box of strawberries, a box of blueberries, and apple juice. So that's going to be their breakfast probably on Saturday, or if they want a snack or whatever. I'm not too strict about, like, oh, you have to have breakfast at a certain time. You know, some people, they put the kids on a clock. The most important thing for me is to play with them and to have good memories. And so that's all I care about. If they want to eat, they can eat. What I notice, the people that are feeding my kids on a schedule, they want to eat themselves. So they use the kids as an excuse to cook. You know? So anyway, my kids are my motivation, and I try to yeah, wait until noon, bro. That's even when I had my kids, when I was their primary care provider, sometimes they didn't eat all day. I just never brought it up, and neither did they. How's that? I mean, what's the reason you need to eat in the morning? Or at all? You know? Think of it as a refuel. Anyway, I did work out today. It's the first time in a few days, because I think my cells needed to recover. I wasn't particularly sore. I just felt like low energy. More so than normal. So I think I just needed some time off. You know, I'm a natural athlete. meaning I don't take steroids. I do take Yohimbe and Tribulus. That's to get up for my workout. But I had a question from HN, codename HN, on my channel. He says, Master Lukey, be honest, did you ever take steroids? I heard that before the USADA was implemented, everybody was on steroids. I will tell you this, you're probably right about everybody except me. Never touched it. Never touched any anti-inflammatories. I almost did once because of the doctor. One of the students at my gym that I trained with was a doctor, and she was always pushing stuff. You know, she tried to give me a lidocaine patch, which is a steroid patch. I was like, I don't want to test positive for steroids, so I didn't take the lidocaine patch. They use it as an anti-inflammatory. She also tried to give me what's called non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, NSAIDs. But then I looked up the side effects, and it said increased risk of injury. I'm like, it's bad enough I got grown men trying to take me out. I'm going to take something that's going to increase my chances of getting injured? No thanks. So I'm a natural athlete. Sometimes I take 5 days off. Not usually, but, you know, nothing wrong with that. You know, these guys that say, oh, no days off. Twice a day, no days off. Come on, bro. Just be honest. Be honest. No natural athlete is able to do that. You need to rest. Period. And that takes time. You know, it's like an oven. You can't turn it up. You can't turn it up and think that it's going to cook faster. It's just going to get burnt. You put it at the certain temperature and you let it sit and you rest. Anyway, the other thing was about fasting. HN wanted to know, did I fast from the weigh-ins until my fight? I actually fasted before the weigh-ins. So if you know my story, or if you look on my Wikipedia page, you can see that I've admitted to being a practitioner of uropathy, also known as urine therapy, also known as drinking your own piss, if you want to be crude about it and make a joke. You know, I don't care. It doesn't bother me if people say, oh, you drink piss. Okay, is that an insult? No. It's a medicine. I don't do it all the time. Sometimes I feel the need to, sometimes I don't. What I did was, a couple of days before my fight, I knew I wanted to be empty completely. I didn't want any shit in my intestine. So about 3 days before the fight, maybe 2, I stopped eating and I just started drinking my own piss. Until what came out of my butt was clear. You know? All the poopy came out. And then I weighed in. So that's why I was 164 pounds fighting in the 170-pound weight class against guys that were 185 pounds and over. The last guy I fought, probably 190 pounds. He was 6'4". Freaking guy looked like he was across the cage from me. He punched me. I didn't even think he was close enough. Anyway, I'm not making excuses. As a matter of fact, if I didn't have a completely empty system, I personally don't believe that I would have had the ability to survive that fight, because all my energy was available for that fight. There was no energy in my stomach, and that's big because digestion can take up to 25% energy. You're talking about fighting for your life. You're going to go into a battle for your life with 75% of yourself? Not a good idea. But, you know, we live in a world where people think you eat and then you get energy. Okay, well, what about the breakdown products that have to be turned into glycogen to go into your muscle? It doesn't go here, here, and then to your body. There's a whole long process. And these guys that are eating steaks and pasta and whatever else, cupcakes. One guy eats cupcakes after the weigh-in. They're shooting himself in the foot, and you know what? Some guys make themselves sick, especially if they go for that rare steak after the weigh-in. A lot of guys give themselves food poisoning. Better off drinking your own piss. On that note, I'm gonna make recipe here with this quinoa, and I wouldn't say it's my favorite recipe, but it's up there. But the problem is it has cabbage, so it's gonna clean me out, which is a good thing, but it's also gonna probably give me gas, which is not a good thing. And like I said, I really shouldn't be eating anyway, but I'm doing this for to get rid of the quinoa, and also to make a video. If you didn't know, if it's your first time tuning in, I recently, about 3 months ago, got 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So that means I can do this live broadcast over my phone. And my next step is to get 4,000 viewing hours, which I'm sitting at about 1,350 right now. So when I get to 4,000 viewing hours, meaning all the people watching my videos, it adds up to 4,000 hours. So say, look, we got 3 people watching right now. Say, just for math, it's a half-hour video, and you guys stay tuned for the whole half hour. That's 90 minutes. Okay, I have to get 4,000 hours. 4,000 hours, and then I can get what's called a super chat, which is a form of monetization for my channel, where, you know, people can pay for a super chat. I don't want to put ads on my channel, and so the ways that I can make money to support my brand and my mission is by selling things that I make, such as custom apparel, food, and then donations. Shout out to MMA Review, donated $50 yesterday by going to masterluki.com. On the About page, there's a link to donate to my PayPal, and that's about all I got right now as far as donations. Ability to donate. You know, I don't have a Patreon or anything like that. I'm just keeping it simple. I'm a small channel, so that's good enough. I also want to shout out to Hawaii Surfer, who sent some honey. It hasn't arrived yet. It was supposed to come today. It'll probably come tomorrow. But if you want to contribute anything, I will appreciate it. Put it to good use. You know, I'm not a charity case. I'm just a man on a mission. And I want to invite you to be on my team. So if you think you can help out in any way, message me. I'll let you know what's up. What I'm going to do before I put this cabbage in, I'm going to go get the palm butter. Stand by. It's right here. Okay. Palm butter. It's called shortening by Nativa. But if you look on the label here, the ingredients, it says organic palm fruit oil, organic unrefined virgin coconut oil, organic unrefined red palm oil. So they blended this. I'm sure they had taste testers. It tastes like butter, exactly. Add a little salt to it. You would convince anyone that they're actually eating butter. Just looking for a spoon here. All right, I got a knife, and let's see. I'm gonna do about a 1/4 cup, which is about 2 or 3 heaping tablespoons. Alright, so I'm just off camera. I'm going to put this on the stove to melt. I'll just put the stove at about half power. And then let me push this over. Let me see, anybody else say anything on the chat? Oh, same man, my son is like me. Okay, so we got that. Alright. I got the idea for this recipe from basically kimchi. And, you know, over the years, I was telling my brother today because he said, come on, you really haven't had animal products in years? Because he's in therapy right now. And I've gone through therapy. I had to do it for my family court case. And I tell you, it was helpful to verbalize my plan to somebody. It helped me with my elevator pitch, you know, to be able to explain to somebody what I'm about without rambling, to keep things concise. But as far as my mental health goes, nothing has been more helpful than Life Food certified nutrition. Because if it's not on that list, you run the risk of putting something that's not supposed to be in the brain of the gut. And I got very sensitive because when I started cleansing, just think of a really clean house. If you got a really clean house and then somebody tracks mud in it, it's going to be very noticeable. So I haven't had a cheat meal in over 5 years. Haven't had anything that's not on my Life Food certified list. And that was a necessity for me because of my heightened sensitivity, also due to my traumatic brain injury. It was just too risky. There's too much at stake, and the effects of that stuff, it really would destroy me. So it's been over 5 years, haven't had a cheat meal, and over 2 years since I have eaten something that's not a Master Lukey recipe. And that's to do with the law of attraction. You know, I want something to happen in the world. That's me taking over the system. And so I had to take over my own system first, you know, to be the change that I want to see. So, where was I going with that? Oh, this recipe, it started with a kimchi recipe that I was making, which was actually pretty complicated because I had to make a teriyaki sauce, and then that teriyaki sauce I turned into a hot sauce, and then I put the cabbage in there. So I didn't, you know, because I'm on a really strict budget now, coronavirus cut me down. So also I'm trying to make things simple just in general. So you're gonna see how simple this is. We got the fat, we got the cabbage. I don't want to spill any, so I'm being very deliberate here. Okay. Spin this. Get this cable out of the way. Okay. Next up is a yellow onion. Now I went with the yellow onion. I was thinking about green onion because that's really yummy. But I was like, hey, I got the tricolor quinoa here. why don't I just stick with the color scheme? I literally am thinking only about color as far as using this onion. We got red quinoa, red cabbage, yellow quinoa, whoops, yellow quinoa, yellow onion. Okay, so everything in this recipe is basically hold on. This tripod is giving me problems right now. Hold on, it's a little slippery. Let's see if this works here. Okay. It's like the phone wants to slip out. All right, how's that? Get this cable out of the way. Okay. All right, I gotta be quick because it sounds like the quinoa is cooking, and I really don't want to cook it too much. I just want to kind of heat it up, make a nice hot dish. All right, so what I'm gonna do here is peel the onion. 1. 2. 3. 4. 4 score. Cha-ching. Okay, chop this up a little finer. Whoop, piece of skin there. I want to get that out. Skin in the game. Here we go. Oh, another piece. Yay. Okay. Spin this. Okay. Oh. Okay. Here comes the onion. Okay. All right. So, you know, you see what I'm working with here. This is not a what's called a legal or commercial food service establishment. So, just keep it on the DL. But if you want to eat here, I have seating. I have indoor and outdoor seating. I can also do curbside. Obviously, this is custom. You know, this is personal meal prep. Just throwing it out there. If you're in the neighborhood, you want to eat some of my stuff, you're welcome. Okay, now, if you look at the title of this broadcast, we have the habanero pepper, aka Scotch bonnet, the hottest pepper that you can buy in a regular market, as far as I know. I mean, you might be able to get it at a specialty shop, get other ones, but as far as what I got at my local place, this is the hottest one. And I only got one because I want a little bit of heat, but I don't want it to take over. So I'm not going to use the Vitamix for this one. I'm going to use the same thing that I used to blend up the weed. This is the Magic Bullet. I'm going to use the small one. Alright, put that there. We're going to use apple cider vinegar. We're going to cover it. Okay. We're going to next put in Celtic salt. We use 1 heaping tablespoon. And a lot of times they put something spicy, something sweet in a hot sauce. So I got some honey here, donated by my man Doc P. Shout out in the Heezy. So this is like a sweet and a spicy sauce now. Okay, we got a tablespoon of New York bamboo honey. Yummy. Okay. So I got the 4-prong blade. Put that on. Get out the Magic Bullet. Tilt the camera down. Do a little stir. Like I said, I don't want it to cook. It's probably already hot, so I should get this going. Okay, here we go. It doesn't even look like it blended the pepper. Hold on. Oh, maybe it did. Where's that spoon? I'm just gonna see if. Okay. Oh, no, hold on. What is that? Alright. That's pretty good. I didn't really feel like chopping it. You know, and then maybe accidentally touching my eye or something, so. This is not gonna blend as much as a Vitamix, so it's pretty good. And I'm just gonna dump it right in. All right, and then the last thing, I'm put in this quinoa. Okay, and let's see if I can. Bring this down here. Lefty loosey, right? Here we go. Actually, let me just do a little handheld here. Okay. You know what? While I'm mixing it, I'll bring it into the light so you can see. Oh. And then I'll put it back on the stove. There we go. So you can see the cabbage is still very bright. Hasn't been overcooked. I'm just heating it up to have a nice hot meal. And you know, the theory is that if you can put your pinky in it and you can feel that it's hot, but it, you know, it doesn't burn your finger off, that's good. That's hot enough. It's not overcooked. You get your enzymes. Now the quinoa is cooked, but studies show that if your meal is 80% live food, you know, you're not going to have an immune response. 80% uncooked. So I don't know what the percentage is, but you know, you do the best you can. When you think about health, it's a lifestyle. You know, you have one cooked meal, it's not gonna kill you. So just make a transition. Learn about what's Life Food Certified. Go to my website, lifefoodcertified.com, and click on where it says ingredients. Alright? And you can see all the good stuff there. Now, I'm going to keep this. I'm going to put this away. Let me put you back on my tripod here. Come over here. So I got one bowl, two bowls. Ice water. Oh yeah. Put this back in the fridge. Sorry, for some reason apparently that's a thing that people okay, looks like it stopped buffering. Alright. Anybody in the chat? No? Alright. I don't really have much else to say right now. Oh, you sound nervous, bro. Somebody replied. I'm gonna turn the Wi-Fi back on. Oh, damn. Okay. Apparently, I was watching a video about Paulo Costa sparring in preparation for Israel Adesanya, and I said after watching this, I will bet on the other guy because he really didn't look good. And then somebody came to his rescue. He says, "You sound nervous, bro." I don't know. You gotta watch what you say on the internet. People, they take offense to things, I guess. I guess I personally got used to being criticized, so it doesn't bother me anymore when it happens. And try to and turn it somehow. Let's see if I can think of an example. I don't know. Alright, let me take you over to the to the pot and take a look. You know what I think it is? I think it's actually the phone must have some component in there that's overheating. I think that's what it is. Smells really good though. I'm gonna put this here. I'm gonna put this here. And I'm going to taste test. Just want to see if it's hot enough. Because I don't really want to wait anymore with this this buffering shit happening. Oh yeah. You know what this means? You know what that means. Oh yeah. Got a kick too. Hell yeah. You gotta try it. Alright. So, put this here. Okay. Get a serving spoon. There you go. Okay. Hungry, my guy?
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah. I'll serve you in a second here.
Thank you. Wow.
Okay, I'm gonna take it off the heat. And I'm gonna, let's see, I'm gonna try chopsticks first. Because I think it's just cooler. And let me bring the camera down.
Back heat.
Bring the camera down again. Okay. And then I gotta, you know what, I gotta do this. How's that? I don't think the chopsticks is the way to eat this. Some garlic. Oh! I'll tell you what, Chris, garlic would be good, except for this fact. Now, this is just for me. What happened was, so this is going to take a while to eat this, so I'll tell you the long story. In 2012, I hit I would say maybe it was rock bottom. Because I left UFC in 2010, I think. And because of the notoriety that I had, I was able to continue working as a trainer. And I was making about $1,500 a month, which was how much I had to contribute to the mortgage payment, which was $3,000. I think it was actually $3,300. So I had I think 18 grand saved up from UFC. I put that as the down payment, and then I was teaching private lessons like $60 an hour, and putting $1,500 a month into the mortgage. But eventually that got less and less. We stopped paying mortgage, and it was kind of like a perfect storm, because if you look into it, you can actually go a long time without paying your mortgage before they repossess your house. If you do the right things, you could literally have a house for 10 years without paying for it. And I would have had it for 10 years, except that I had zero money to pay even my water bill, and the pipes froze one winter, and the town came in, and it would take too long to tell you the whole story. So what I'm saying is this: 2012, I hit rock bottom. My wife and kids were gone. I was in the house by myself. I started to really suffer the effects of my brain injury, because I didn't stop getting hit in the head when I left UFC. I was still sparring. I was sparring guys like Ally Aquinta. And like I said yesterday, when you spar somebody, they practice on you, and he got very good. When I met him, he was mostly a wrestler. But by sparring with me, his striking game got better. So, not that he was knocking me out, but there's more and more research coming out now about subconcussive blows. You know, where you don't lose consciousness, but these things build up over time. So, you know, this is the tail end of my head contact career. And I was already injured. So, anyway, I went to see my teacher, Dr. David Jubb. I said, Dr. Jubb, I'm having a tough time. And, you know, my father was a cop. He worked long hours. The guidance that I got from Dr. Jubb was different than what my father could provide. Just like the guidance I got from my martial arts instructors. That's not to say that my dad wasn't a good dad. He still is. It's just that he couldn't help me with a brain injury because that's not what he knows. So I flew out. My godmother paid my ticket. And this was in California. Palm Springs, actually. And I traveled with Dr. Jubb over 4 months and sat with him basically 24/7 as he went to stay with different students and different people who needed his help. He's like a traveling healer sometimes. Went from Palm Springs to Palm Desert to Las Vegas to Boulder. No, to Salt Lake City, to Boulder, or maybe Boulder and then Salt Lake City, I forgot. And then to Omaha. And then from Omaha, I came back to New York, but it was 4 months later. And over that time, I was learning about how to heal traumatic brain injury through nutrition, primarily, and also I was learning about whole brain functioning, which is a way to think and speak to utilize your whole brain. Having to do with the frontal cortex. We'll talk about that in another video. One of the recipes that Dr. Jubb taught me was pumpkin seeds. Soaking them to activate them, salting them, and dehydrating them. I called it dino scales because I'm marketing my brand to families and children. So dino scales, amazing recipe, everybody loves it. I wanted to show what a great recipe it was. How much of a superfood, you know, pumpkin seeds called a superfood, called World's Healthiest Foods. So for 3 weeks, it was actually, it might have been longer, it was either 21 or 28 days, it might have been 4 weeks. I literally ate nothing but pumpkin seeds. I literally ate nothing but dino scales. Excuse me. I also came up with a recipe called dragon scales. And this is going back to what Chris said. He says, what about garlic? So, what I was doing was buying 25 pounds of pumpkin seeds. Price went up. It used to be $75. Now it's $100. Including shipping. So, it's like $4 a pound. Not too bad. As a matter of fact, I got some pumpkin seeds over here. I could even check how much I'm paying at the store. But the dragon scales was a recipe using the pumpkin seeds, and then instead of just soaking it in salt water, I was soaking it, or I was marinating it in a garlic teriyaki. And I was using fresh garlic. It was really good. Matter of fact, if you want the recipe, It's in my first recipe book, which is for free on my website. Just click on where it says free book on Life Food Certified. So I had this giant bowl. I did all 25 pounds. Giant bowl of marinated dragon scales, marinated pumpkin seeds. I dehydrated them, and then I put them back in the bowl because it was so much I had no place to put them. I don't even think I had a fridge back then. This was a couple years ago. So I said, all right, well, they're basically dry. It's all healthy stuff. It's okay to sit out. It wasn't refrigerated. Little did I know that the moisture from the air rehydrated. Not all the way, but enough. It rehydrated those things. And the garlic, because it was fresh garlic, a lot of garlic in there. Did you know that garlic, even though it's very antimicrobial, it eventually will turn? And I gave myself botulism by eating those dragon scales over the course of a week. And I remember the last day or so, it just wasn't, not that it tasted funny, it just something was off. It wasn't a taste, it was the way that my body was reacting. It just it was no, my body was no. Then a couple hours later, completely locked up. Couldn't move my neck. Botulism is a nerve toxin. That's what they use for Botox. That's why you have to sign a waiver if you get Botox that you can't sue if you fucking die. Because they're literally injecting you with a poison. And it locks up the muscle. That's why it gets rid of wrinkles, because it makes your muscle fucking not work anymore on your face. My muscles locked up from my base of my head to the upper back. Couldn't move. I had to have a friend do a special treatment that I could tell you about, which is a scrub and rub. And it took me a day at least till I was able to move, and probably about a week till I was back to normal. Ever since then, I can't really have garlic. It just, not that it locks me up, it's just I'm super sensitive now, and that's an issue for me, my neck, because I have a vertebrae that's out of place. The vertebrae is supposed to be like this. One of them is shifted and bent. So maybe a stack of coins would demonstrate better, but instead of them being like this, one of them's out. It's up here. What happened was I got punched by a Golden Gloves boxer. He spun my head around like this, cracked my neck. That was injury number 1. Injury number 2 was a side choke in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Popped it. And so that's, it's the weakest link in the chain. So that's where the botulism affected me. So I can't really have garlic. It bothers my neck. Fresh garlic. I mean, I can have a little bit, but I'll try not to use it. I think maybe powdered garlic wouldn't be as bad, because it's like it's destroyed. But yeah, garlic is in my teriyaki recipe. I used garlic on The Ultimate Fighter Season 2 when I got a staph infection. Staph infection is from having rot in your gut. And it manifested in me. I forget which elbow it was. It might be this one right here. I used to have a scar. I had 3 giant pimples. And I didn't want to take the antibiotics because I looked up the side effects. I think it said increased risk of tears. Makes your joints, like your ligaments and your tendons and muscles, weaker. Forgot what it was. I didn't take the antibiotics, so what I did was I took garlic slices. I put olive oil because I wanted the oil from the garlic to kind of be carried. I put a little bit of olive oil like that. I took the garlic slices, put them on, and then wrapped my elbow in saran wrap. And it went away. The staph went away. No antibiotics. That was even before I learned about life food. I brought 3 books. Now they said you can only bring 1 book. The Bible. Spicy. You were only allowed to bring the Bible on The Ultimate Fighter Season 2 because it was on Spike TV, and you couldn't have any brand name. Everything had to be Greeked, meaning you either couldn't wear it or they had to put marker over the logo or tape over the logo. And they didn't want anybody to be boring. Matter of fact, the producers took us all aside one day and said, "Look, you guys, you eat, sleep, train, you play cards. It's not good TV." So Jason Von Flew was a bartender. They said, "Jason, what can we provide, in terms of alcohol?" They wanted us to get rowdy. I think one guy had a beer. Nobody drank it anyway. We were serious. But they said you can only bring the Bible. I brought 3 books. I might have them here. Yeah, there's one. Yeah, I got 2 of them here. One was called Prescription for Nutritional Healing. And that was the first book where I really started to get into that type of thing. These were the other 2. This one I never actually finished. It's about meditation and bringing your yi, which is your brain, your thoughts, into your bones. So according to this, you can actually wash your bone marrow and your brain by meditating. And you got some interesting things in here. You have massage. You have the where is it? You have the energy coming up and down, comes up the front, down the back. Oh no, this one says up the back, down the front. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. I think you could do it both ways. No, this one says the same thing, up the back, down the front. You got some qigong exercises here. I just don't think any of this is going to be more powerful than nutrition. If you look at this guy, he's bald. He's bald here on the stomach, the intestine, and the heart. That's from rice and meat. Oh, here you go. Testicle training. How's that? You got pulling the testicles and hanging a weight from the testicles. Yeah, buddy. This one I didn't get through. Here, see, this is the bone marrow washing. Wait. Washing the marrow. That looks like your shin bone. This is the book that I got the Facing the Bed to the North out of. And I'm not going to go through this to find where it says that, but basically you got a, imagine this is the Earth. It has what's called a I think it's called a magnetosphere, which is the energy that comes out from the two poles and circles, you know, in the shape of a torus, if you know what that is. And basically the theory is that you line yourself up with the magnetosphere of the Earth. So the energy of the Earth comes out the North Pole and then circles around, comes up through the South Pole, apparently. Or maybe it goes both ways. But, you know, the North Pole is the head, the South Pole is down there. Anyway, I said, look, you're letting people bring the Bible. This is my religion. And they let me. How's that? So, on that note, I'm going to use a fork. And I'm going to turn off the camera. But even older than Buddhism and Taoism is the Native American religion. It's older than Hinduism because this comes from a time before language, before they could name any gods or any energy. They had one concept that has since been named Great Spirit. But it's the ether, the connection of everything. This is my religion now. Now I go to church with my family, and when I hear the words coming out of the priest and the Bible, I translate it to something that makes more sense to me. Okay? Like, for example, Jesus is us. Okay, God is Great Spirit. Stuff like that. But if you are able to get the Ultimate Fighter Season 2 DVD, you can look on the bonus disc and you could see my interview to get on the show. And on that interview I said that my religion has to do with nutrition, the body's the temple, and all the people that I'm fighting are eating in a way that's against my religion, and I'm gonna wage a holy war on them. And that was the interview that got me on the show because they were looking for interesting people, I guess. Oh, thoughts on vaccines? Oh God, it's just an abomination, Kevin. Uh, you can look into the history of vaccines. You can see that the whole thing is a fraud, and some people may disagree, but the entire medical system, as it's practiced today, in hospitals, is based on false ideas that a germ can make you sick. Okay, you have Louis Pasteur as the father of modern germ theory, and his theory, which is what the entire medical system is based on, turned out to be false. Okay, so he basically cooked up some milk and he killed everything in it. They did tests, everything's dead. 3 days later, there's stuff growing on it. In it, out of it. Okay, growing out of it. Life will find a way. But everything grows from the inside out. Health grows from the inside out. Disease grows from the inside out. Flowers grow from the inside out. The earth is growing from the inside out. When you inject somebody, you're bypassing the entire immune system. The skin, the aura, the bacteria on the outside of the skin. It's just horrible, and I believe that the people who are pushing the vaccines are evil. They're fucking evil. And, what can we do except not take the vaccine and live a healthy life and lead by example? You can't stop them from what they're trying to do. They kill people, They've killed a lot of doctors in the past several years who spoke out against vaccines. The thing is that my theory and my philosophy, my plan is initially, this is what I learned. Initially, what I learned was that when I was complaining about head trauma, with head contact in MMA, without offering an alternative, people just shut me out. They basically killed me in their minds. It's like when somebody calls me crazy. They call me schizophrenic. They are saying that they want me to be drugged down into a zombie so that they don't have to deal with me. They want me to be locked away. They basically want me to be dead to them. So I stopped complaining about the head trauma as much as I can. I get triggered sometimes. And I'm simply building my safer alternative. So as far as vaccines go, my plan is staying the same, to build Master Luki brand, to take over MMA first, and then spin off into nutrition. But maybe the vaccine is just an excuse to get the chip in people. And to be honest, I'd rather have the chip. I might rather have the chip than have a cell phone, to be honest. The only thing is, people think that the chip's going to be able to control you. I don't know. I didn't get LASIK surgery because the technology's too new. I think there's side effects, and we'll just have to wait and see what happens to the chip. I gotta believe that everybody comes from God, even the evil ones. So I do believe in destiny. I do believe in God's plan. I believe in math. That a long time ago, before time, things were set into motion, and if you had the universal algorithm, you could see, how we went from a spark to where we are now. So, I believe in a guiding force that that's creating something. Of course, as powerful as that is, there must be an equal and opposite. So it's a fight, man. It's a fight. I'm gonna be touring the nation and the world, and I'm gonna have to fight people who are on steroids. I gotta believe that I'm gonna stay safe. I'm fighting in a sport that is damaging, but I can't not fight. I can't follow through with my mission because there's too much at stake. Anyway, I just read something today that the coronavirus is going away too fast, and they don't have enough time to make the vaccine. So all I can say is just keep hope alive. Keep hope alive that things are going to work out. But don't depend on it. You got to do your due diligence. Grow your health. Okay? And if you have any questions about health, about MMA, about philosophy, spirituality, or maybe you just need somebody to talk to, I just joined a couple of vaccine groups on Facebook. Apparently, the only way you can get out of it is if you get a doctor's note. So maybe there's one of you out, maybe there's somebody out there, a doctor who's willing to put their name on a piece of paper and say that, it's too dangerous for you. You basically got to say, you got to have a note from a doctor that's saying, it's you're not your person. This person who's on the note, this person can't take the vaccine because, of safety reasons. What scares me is the kids. That's what scares me the most. Confidence. Where does it come from? I think it comes from experience and strength. Electrical strength. That's why. Oh, God bless. 9-month-old baby, just as God made it. Perfect. Don't let anybody convince you that you need to improve your baby with a fucking vaccine. God damn those people. I wish I could just smack some sense into them, but they're indoctrinated, They go through school and they get brainwashed, and it's us against them, I guess. We'll have to see, man. Thank you for watching. Thank you for writing. I'm gonna turn off the camera now. Anything else, just write a message. If you go to masterluki.com, on the about page, it has all my personal info. So you want to call me, you want to text me, send something in the mail, a letter,